Hey, this is Cody Rhodes. Oh, God, I don't know my own name. I'm sorry, Madison. The last time, here it is. Hey, this is Cody Rhodes, and let's get buzzed.
Take one for the team, and I'll drink with you tonight.
Done, son. I can't wait to sing your music to you.
Get ready to take the new year to the extreme.
Do you want to see more?
Yeah!
I'll be setting a new world record.
My mom jeans are kicking in right now for sure. I'm a strong woman. I have to give so many props to my mom.
You're crying? Now I feel like I should cry.
Jennifer's frozen like she saw a ghost.
Thought he was gonna stab her, then he swallowed the sword.
Hello, friends. How are you doing?
Fantastic, Madison.
Very good, very good.
So I want to hear the craziest things that you've ever done to earn you the credentials of hosting and judging some of the most insane acts and talents I've ever seen.
Oof, Bert.
Well, I'll start. I worked for Travel Channel for 9 years and traveled the world 4 times over, basically taking part in adventures of a lifetime. I've fought a bull. I've swam with great white sharks out of the cage. I was an MMA fighter. I was a dominatrix gimp. I tamed lions. I fought a bear. I jumped out of a plane with Rachel Ray. I was the first person to jump off the stratosphere. I did a base jump. I've done everything there is to do. So seriously. I think I got my credentials in extreme. I think Cody's resume speaks for itself.
I think so. Bert, everything Bert just laid out was probably more of the type of base you needed if there was a curriculum, a credential to say, I can judge this. I should be able to score this. And as a professional wrestler, I thought, I put myself in danger quite often. There's a lot of stunt work to what I do, a lot of theater to what I do. About halfway during the show, though, I would say I pretty much realized I was in very deep water. These are professionals who had been, some of them out of work due to the pandemic and not able to give their act to the world, and Go Big Show gave them the spotlight. And at a certain point, I just stopped pretending I know how to score a guy lifting somebody with his eyelids and started thinking, I'm just going to have a good time and just give you the score based on how I feel.
Well, on that same note, what makes this show different than all the other talent-based TV shows out there?
I think this is, it's less singing and dancing and then singing and dancing with rattlesnakes in your mouth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like there's just an extra level to it. It's a talent that you'd learn in a field by yourself. It's not a talent that you would go to class for. It's a talent it's a talent that your mom says you shouldn't do, as opposed to a talent where she's like, you got to see what my son does. It really is heartland, a heartland energy in that you never can really put your thumb on what's coming up next, as opposed to glitter, glam, tap, and sparkle,
I love that. Bert, how much fun did you have with these guys as an executive producer on the show? Why were they the perfect people to join you on the crazy set?
Okay, let's real quick. I'll go across the board.
Okay,
my wife's a redneck, obsessed with Jennifer Nettles. Okay, Rosario Dawson might be the most perfect looking human being in the world, connected to the most generous big heart, and I was obsessed with the movie Kids. Cody Rhodes, are you kidding me? From a dynasty of wrestlers. I grew up in Florida. I watched his dad wrestle live, and then we're gonna close with Snoop Dogg. Shut the front. Snoop Dogg? Are you telling me? It ain't no fun if my homies can't have none. This is a dream cast for me, a dream cast. And I literally, we lived in a bubble. I lived across the hall from Cody. Anytime I'd hear his door open, I just open my door. Where you going? Cigar? Want to go work out? Huh? Pre-meal mix?
Oh, you guys worked out together? How did that go?
I don't know if you'd say work out. I got on the treadmill and walked to the 3.5 while he lifted weights. But yeah, we worked out together.
You know what, though? Bert did the classic, make sure he leaves the gym last. That's a classic pro wrestler move. Like, I've got a few things left. So I always assumed he was getting it all the time. Very health and fitness conscious crew. Snoop was in the gym at 7 a.m. every morning. One of the most shocking things about the whole time was Snoop's gym block was in the a.m. It blew my mind. A very healthy show.
I am very impressed by this. And Cody, going into this show, what kind of judge did you think you'd be?
I really anticipated that I would be the friendliest, kindest, loving judge. And I want to say I probably took a complete turn on that, just because there's a beauty when somebody goes out there and goes big and succeeds, and you can feel that. And then there is also a lot of humor in when someone goes big and in a big way fails. And I had to call them on it. And it was a tough task, but I felt up to that task.
Sure. And Bert, is there an ask where you're like, no, absolutely not. That is pushing my absolute worst fear button. I'm out.
Yeah, about half of them. Half of them. Anytime someone swallowed a sword, anytime anyone hooks into their body and lifted themselves off the ground, anytime anything, like I have a thing, this is gonna sound horrible, but like parts of my body tingle when I see stuff that makes me, I'm like, like the kind where your ass cheeks go loose and you're like, oh my God. And that was half of our acts. And I also don't want to see anyone get hurt. And literally 3/4 of our acts put their lives on the line when you go out there and you're like, whoa. So yeah, the majority of the acts we saw, Jackie Bibby goes in. I don't want to give his act away, but he's got, what do you have, like 100 rattlesnakes, Cody? And you're like, these are rattlesnakes. These aren't. This isn't.
That would be my thing. That would be when I'm like, I'm out of here.
He put them in his mouth.
There were many acts that were just complete acts of survival. Like Bert's saying, if the act doesn't go well, what happens? You die. Like people were really genuinely wanting that $100,000 cash prize in a big way.
Absolutely. All right, guys, the only way we can wrap up an interview like this is by going big. So we're going to play a rapid fire round of go big or go home. I'm going to give you a scenario and you make the decision. Would you rather do it and go big or take the pass and go home? The first one is fight the winner of the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight.
Oh, go big.
Go big?
Pass.
No. I'm going to tug on a tiger's tail and hope I knock one of them out. I'm going to go.
Pass. That's an instant pass for me. I'm not getting. I don't want the glove anywhere near my face. I've seen Mayweather's hands. That's all I need.
That's so funny. All right, next up. Perform Cardi and Meg's WAP TikTok dance on the Go Big Show stage.
I'm going to go home. My daughters would be appalled.
I think I'm good with that one. I'm gonna go big. Yeah.
Okay, one for each of you. Let's see who's big or go home one here. Take the new COVID vaccine shot.
Ooh. I'm going big. I wouldn't mind growing a tail.
I think I'm gonna go home on
He's got too much life to live. I'm 48. I'll take the vaccine.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Go Big Show, Thursday, January 7th.
Do you think Dollar knows he's standing next to a jackass?
On TBS.